Good morning, everyone. Buenos días. Aquí estamos con Maria Arevalo. Hello, everyone. We're here at Maria. We're here with Maria Arevalo from Stanislaus Latino Giving Circle. Kind enough to host it is Garcia Insurance Agency. I'm Mossy Mott with the Ray Morgan Company. So we're gonna find out a little bit about the Giving Circle. And Maria, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Great. Nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Good. So I was on your website. According to it, the foundation is one of the largest in the nation. How many contributors have donated to date?
Well, so the Latino Community Foundation is based in San Francisco, and they launched the Latino Giving Circle Network in 2012.
Okay.
So right now, the Latino Giving Circles are up and down California. There's 20 circles, ranging all the way from Sacramento down to Bakersfield. And of those circles, there are 500 members. So and the circles over the last, so they got launched in 2012, and I think we have probably raised about $1.7 million between all the circles. And all circles have started at different times. So our particular circle, the Stanislaus Latino Giving Circle, we launched 3 years ago. And so we're part of that statewide network that's affiliated with Latino Community Foundation.
I understand. Okay.
Yeah. And it's the largest philanthropic Latino-led group.
Okay. So it truly is.
It really is, yeah.
Very
There really isn't any other group like that in California.
Very good. What have been the total funds raised since 2012?
Well, since 2012, like I said, we've raised about $1.7 million through the circle. But it's also interesting, the foundation, along with the circles, we're pretty nimble about reacting to crisis. So aside from the $1.7 million that the circles have raised, last year the foundation and with the help of the circles, they created the Love Not Fear Fund, which is created to address the COVID fallout.
Okay.
So just through that fund last year, I think we raised about $1.5 million. And so, and that was also done through the circle. So for example, our small circle, we raised an additional $5,000 last year that we gave in particular to undocumented workers.
Okay.
So the foundation is really nimble about raising money to address certain issues that come up. So,
Yeah, it definitely keeps up with what's going on in current
yes,
times.
definitely.
Very good. Before COVID though, back in 2012, if we go back in time, what inspired this whole foundation?
Yeah, what inspired this whole network circle movement, the foundation, the Latino Community Foundation has been around for a number of years, but I think what inspired the circle, the giving circles, is that we looked around in 2012 and realized that of the philanthropic dollars that are given out in this country and in the state, less than 1% are given to Latino-led organizations. And we have 15 million Latinos in California. We have $320 billion of purchasing power. So Latinos are a big force, and we realize that the success of Latinos means success for California, because that's the growing force. By 2050, 80% of the people entering the workforce are going to be Latino. So realizing that philanthropic dollars were not going to Latino-led organizations, and also realizing that philanthropy doesn't have to look like the Gates Foundation, doesn't have to look like the Urban Foundation. It's us, it's you and me, and it's us, it's Latinos giving Latinos support and giving our money, putting our money where our community workers are.
Very good.
That's what launched that.
Very good. Awesome. Good to hear.
Yeah.
Speaking of supporting Latino-based organizations, how many to date estimate grassroots nonprofits have you been able to help? Have you been able to touch?
Yeah, up and down the state, we've been able to fund over 100 Latino-led grassroots organizations between the 20 circles.
And how do they get nominated? How do they come up into your?
Well, the way it works is this: is that we get individuals, and every individual puts in $1,000 a year. So if you're a member of the circle, you contribute $1,000 per year, and you can do that at one time. You can do it $85 a month, which is sort of what it averages out to. And then collectively we get together and we decide what our funding priorities are. We look at different, is it education, could it be immigration, could it be just different areas, and so we all collectively decide what our funding priorities are going to be. And then we look around the community and we say, okay, who's doing this work in our community? And then we ask those people to come to one of our meetings, and they will, basically pitch their organization, and they'll tell us what they're doing. They'll tell us what they have plans to do with the money that we could give them. And then we collectively decide which groups we're gonna fund and how much we're gonna fund them for. So that's the way it works. And so it's an annual funding cycle. We give out money once a year. And our particular circle in Modesto or Stanislaus County, we've given out over $66,000 in the last 3 years.
Wow.
Just from, our members putting in our own money together.
Really good. Hopefully it continues to grow.
Yes, hopefully we'll continue to grow, yeah. We love that.
Speaking of, picking up from the collective, where can donors go? How can they sign up? How can they donate?
So we have a Facebook page. You can go to the Latino Community Foundation Facebook page, and you'll see a section on the Latino Giving Circle Network, so you can go there. And then the Stanislaus Latino Giving Circle also has a Facebook page, and you can go there and you can find out where you can sign up and join us.
Very good. Facebook, there you go.
Yeah.
On top of that, do you folks have a newsletter or anything else for it?
No, we don't have a newsletter. We do have an Instagram account that we go on sometimes, but mostly our Facebook page is the best way. You can find information about, what the next events are, what the next meetings are, and what we're up to.
Okay, you heard it there first, folks. Facebook.
Yeah, it is.
Can you talk to us a little bit about a recent recipient of the contribution?
Sure, yeah. So since, like I said, we launched 3 years ago, and 3 years ago we funded 4 organizations. The following year, I think we funded 3 organizations, and then last year we funded 5 organizations.
Okay.
And of the 5 organizations that we funded last year, we had funded we had funded 4 of them previously. So we have funded just some of the organizations we have given money to is Faith in the Valley. We have funded She Became. We have funded Invest in Me, South Modesto Partnership, Manos Unidas, and then last year, for the first time, we funded the Latino Leadership Initiative, which is a program that is, well, you know about it. Yeah, it's a great program. We looked around and we thought, there's lots of boards and commissions in our community, in our county, that don't have Latino representation, and we don't have elected officials that represent our community. We're 47% Latinos, and we don't see that representation across our commissions and boards and the elected boards. So we thought, how do we address this? And so the leadership initiative came up, and they wanted to basically give Latino skills to be able to get onto those boards and commissions and to get into those power centers. So that was one of our newest grantees from last year. This year we're going to get together. We just launched a new year, and we'll get together and decide, funding priorities and which groups are going to fund this year.
Very good. Good to hear. Very good. And thank you for that contribution for such an initiative. Does your foundation here locally, or maybe on the state level, do they have any upcoming events, any information you want to give out to the community?
Yeah, we are going to be having another circle meeting on April 22nd. It's a noon meeting. We understand a lot of our members are really busy, and with Zoom now, we try to do meetings at a really convenient time for people who are working. So our next circle meeting is going to be April 22nd. We're going to finish prioritizing our funding priorities and to see what areas we're going to fund. Right now, we're looking at immigration, education, and civic engagement. We think those are 3 areas that are super important. And so get on our Facebook and you can find out information how to join us in that next meeting. So that's happening. I know the Latino Community Foundation is also sponsoring a forum on March 23rd on seeking accountability for the children that have been separated from their families. And so there'll be a forum about that issue. And the good thing about the Latino Community Foundation and the circle, as part of a circle in Stanislaus County, you're also part of a statewide network of circles and a statewide network of efforts of Latinos working on all kinds of issues. And the Latino Community Foundation is really good about, really addressing the critical issues that are affecting Latinos and that. So they're going to have that forum about undocumented children, the efforts to address that problem. So that's coming up March 23rd. And their Facebook page is really good about updating us and giving you information about what events are happening.
Okay, so keep up to date. There it is. Yeah. Facebook, folks, please go visit. Maria, thank you again for your time.
Sure.
I do
yeah, it's
appreciate
great to be
it.
here.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend. Happy Friday.